The oh, sorry. I'm like, yo, why does he have his 15-page article? Who are you,
Yeah, yeah,
bro?
I
Why
know.
are you relevant? Is this to literally PR your way into relevance?
Hello, Nisa.
Hello, Reem.
So, how are you? How are you today? Okay.
I'm
I
over
know.
it.
Yeah,
I'm over it. That's how
yeah.
I
You
feel.
you you sent me a text yesterday about the article that really made you super mad. So that's what on the topic today. Like what on the schedule. It's the
Mm.
the what is it called? Let me the GQ piece called "Inside Ben Affleck's Plan to Remake Hollywood." That's a
It's a
bold
big
statement,
title.
and
That's what I
yeah,
pull. I wanted to remind myself. That's a big title. And after having read the article, I don't know if it stands up to that title. But I
okay.
digress. Okay, go on.
So yeah, let's go. Like okay.
Okay.
So the just like quickly, we put the
Mm,
article in the show notes. The article is about it delves into Affleck's journey from being a celebrated actor to establishing his own production company, Artist Equity, aiming to revolutionize the film industry.
mhm, mhm,
Already,
mhm, mhm,
voila. So
mhm. Okay,
you read
I
it
have I
and you
I have
disagree.
questions for you as a journalist.
Okay. Yeah.
I plugged it into
X,
Word.
but still.
Eh, it's like 15 pages long. And
Yeah.
it's like, I believe 47,000 words.
Okay.
So, and like my question is, because it's quite a long piece. Obviously, this is an online sort of full publish to whatever they published in the magazine. I get
Mhm.
that. It's two different conversations. Like there was the main one and then a follow-up conversation with the journalist, and it's sort of like just the conversation direct, one would assume, right?
Mhm.
So why would they do that? Why? What is the point of this article?
Okay. So there's different levels. Okay. I don't know GQ. Okay. I worked for
Mhm,
L. Okay, here in
mhm,
Montreal. I worked for like, and I was the content director, online content director for a lot of French titles in the same company that owns the L Quebec. And I know that we sometimes we would make deep pieces like this, like long pieces, because we have an agreement like PR or like the
mhm,
it's the PR agreement. Like
mhm,
he
mhm.
created his own company, so okay, like it's really a deal, money deal, obviously, right? It can also be it can be a lot of things, and all of those too. It's also like Ben Affleck is a star, so it's going to be selling, obviously. Yeah,
Of
it's
course. Right, right, yeah.
and yeah, he just divorced. He's like a lot in the news, whatever. He's beloved. Like even if we want to deny it, he's like a like and there's this. He was like with Matt Damon. They were like two like genius, creatives who created a lot, who made like a lot of good movies, and he's a good actor, so he's beloved. So yeah, he sells,
Mm.
and yeah, it can really be that. And when as a journalist, when you can have access to a big name like this one, you want to milk it, right?
Yeah, and
So
keep it
yeah,
relevant while also keeping the
yeah,
star relevant, right?
yeah. And again, it can be like it can be both, like it's for selling because like a big name and milking it, and also it's an agreement, oh,
Yeah.
his team, Affleck's team, reached out, so we'll do this piece because he's launching this, and we're gonna have like a scoop on this other thing or whatever, like it's
Is there something to all the names that are mentioned? Like, they mentioned Spielberg, Scorsese, and Christopher Nolan. Obviously, these are big film names, and I also the company is with Matt Damon. That's another big name
and
to
another guy, yeah,
and a
another
few
guy,
others, exactly.
yeah,
But, like, the
yeah.
main I think Matt Damon is, like, creative officer, and Ben Affleck is executive officer.
Hmm.
Okay, so the thing with Matt Damon, I have appreciated him in some roles in some films, especially some of his more offbeat, less mainstream films from
Yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
The one thing I noticed when I pull up his thing, like his sort of biography and filmography, is a lot of the
Mhm.
films that he was in, whether they were his production or direction or not, a lot of times they were low budget, and then they made a
Yeah.
lot of money, like a
Yeah.
lot of money,
Yeah.
which is cool. Like, I feel like he's a money machine. There are always, I think of the old Gilded Age of Hollywood, like Marilyn Monroe was in, or
Yeah.
James Dean. Like
Yeah.
those were people that people came out for. They spent money on the, you know what I mean? So they're money
Yeah.
machines in their whole existence.
Mm.
There's a few things that I find both ironic and really funny about this article. The first, I'm a brat. Okay, it's a bookend thing. So the first, it's kind of early on in the article. There's this question about, it's like after they go into the J-Lo thing and blah blah blah, which we'll get to. He's like, the journalist says, "We're sitting in the conference room of your production company, Artist Equity. Do you actually 9 to 5 it here?"
9 to 5. Yeah.
And then he talks about like me, blah blah blah, parent, kids. I want to be there for my kids, and so blah 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 blah. Right? Cool.
Hmm.
You have the privilege of creating a lifestyle around your job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
And it ends on the same sort of note where they talk about how he has this freedom. This, and it ends with, "This makes me happier." How do I say this without sounding super critical? I feel like this whole thing is like a cis white man sharing how wonderful his life is and how he gets to do things that most people can't. And because he's in a position of authority or something, he's going to make it right. He's going to make it equal. He's going to make it fair. And
He's a savior now.
I I will follow that up with the points that discuss his personal life. He is not vulnerable, he is not honest, he is not forthcoming, and he's
What?
vague. The whole thing
Yeah.
about
Okay.
J-Lo, the whole thing
Yeah.
about, like, there's a point where he says something about it would be like being in the therapy session of somebody, and he makes these comments about basically his life being boring. I don't know, it's a little,
Yeah.
if I
Well,
read between the lines, I'm like, "Oh, it must be so hard for you. Must be so
it's also down,
hard."
but it's also downplaying a little bit because his life was a lot of drama in the last few years, right? Like
He said
divorcing
the one of
Jennifer.
the
Like,
he doesn't like drama
yeah, maybe
and
it
all
can
the
also be
attention.
true. They both can be true. Maybe he doesn't like drama,
Oh,
but his actions, like being with the mother of his kids and then going to his first, I guess, one of his love interests or
active.
whatever, and then back and forth, and honestly, yeah, you're with J Lo, like you're in for drama, meaning like she's under the spotlights. She loves the spotlights. She's highly criticized, and then you're saying that he is not vulnerable in the article. I read only the beginning of it, and I agree with you. But also in his life, he said something about like always being himself. He's not like always playing the game. For example, going and get his deliveries by himself or whatever. Like in like a
Stain coffee stain t-shirt.
yeah, kind of, which is true. That's why paparazzi love him, because he's a mess, and he's like all of us. That this is a good thing, right? But maybe like, yeah, that's drama. That's like, you can't be like that,
Mm.
and then we being with somebody like J Lo, who's over controlling everything, right? And I think he attracts drama because he's in a way a little bit low key. That being said, Matt Damon too. He's super low key, like he's with the same wife for like ages and blah blah blah, and he's not, he has maybe more luck in his love life, or he's not really under scrutiny, or maybe he's not with somebody who attracts, who loves being under the spot like Jello.
But
So
hold on. I
yeah,
could
tell
take
me.
all of that, yes. But if you recall, a few years ago,
Hmm.
Ben Affleck also did a large publication with I don't remember which magazine about his alcoholism journey. And so
Yeah.
now I'm like, you
Mm.
say he's low key, but he's doing all of these 15-page, maybe not the other one, but these
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
long special, I don't
Yeah.
even know what to call it. It's not an article, it's
Yeah.
an essay. It's so much. That 15 pages, sorry, I'm getting excited. Let me change
Yeah.
my tone. 15 pages and 4,700 words.
Okay, but Anissa, again, let's think strategically. Don't you think that after all the photos and videos of him being drunk, and then all of a sudden an article, an interview about him talking about alcoholism,
Hmm.
like I smell PR, and again, it's
Mhm.
allegedly. I didn't read this article. I just know that, like honestly, you can't escape it when you're on social media. I'm not especially following him, but I saw stuff, and on social media, and yeah,
But why do
can
this
be
now
that too.
then?
This is very interesting. This is really interesting, and it's strange that it's coming at the same time as another director having problems with another creative, and the clash. And then this guy is like, now I want to give more, you know
I'm getting
control to
really
creatives.
excited.
So I'm talking
Where's
of
the
that
one?
Baldoni and Lively, right? Like
No,
I
100%. Okay.
okay. But yeah,
Uh,
tell me.
okay. The question is
Yeah.
longer than the response. Well, there's a few responses that he keeps short. So the question is,
Mm.
you mentioned directing being your path back. And at this point, I'm surprised when you act in other people's stuff. Like if you direct, you can control every variable. Acting, not so much. And he says, no, you're not in control as an actor. That's an important lesson.
Okay. Yeah. And that's for the actors who want more control, right?
Hmm.
And he is one of them, obviously.
And he's
Do you
also
think
talking
okay, wait,
about,
wait, wait. Think that
yeah,
he's
yeah,
team Plantation Parisy?
100,000%. Oh,
Like
no,
it's
no, no,
Perez
opposite. He's
Hilton.
anti.
The
Okay, so
opposite.
thank
Okay.
you. Ooh, there's so many layers to this.
Yes,
So you know
yes.
that she was his co-star in his movie where they bank rob, and she plays his girlfriend, and they or
Okay.
girlfriend,
Let me
baby
see.
mama, wifey vibe. And at the
Okay.
time, I think in real life, there's like well, obviously still now there's like 12 or 13-year discrepancy between them. There were rumors about them dating. No, I'm lying
Oh,
because that was wait, was he already?
yeah, yeah,
No, he
yeah.
was still
I
with his wifey. And so he talks about
okay.
that in the article. And what all he says is
Oh, the
it's
town. Yeah.
hard doing the town, thank you. And that was shot in Boston. And he says
Yeah.
it's hard doing these films where you're shooting away from your family. And my mind started playing all this like hypothetical, like he cheated on his wife, he had an affair, and this is why and the guilt.
Mm,
But it's the in between the lines and who really knows, right? These are all
mm.
rumors and
You will
whatever.
never know. We
But I
will never
find
know.
it
Yeah.
interesting that on the flip side, Bake Lively has made comments where she's like, I'm not just a pretty face. I offer so much more. And then here you have this actor director saying, no, if you're hired as an actor, that's all you need to bring to the table. So I
Mm.
really wonder about their working relationship and if he's one of the directors that she refers to when she says, like, they didn't really want to listen to me, but I made them. Who are we talking about?
Very interesting. You're right.
And
I
another
don't know.
thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, no,
and
go ahead, go ahead.
another
No,
thing.
please, please.
The money of it. So he talks about his main point is the whole artist equity and equality, right? So that basically means that everybody's getting money, everyone's getting money on the back end.
Yes, in
The
creative control and
Exactly. So
what?
Blake Lively was paid $3 million for that
Yeah.
film, and the closest next one was 300,000, and a lot of the other actors made like 100,000 off of this film. So it makes me think like he, in many ways, is saying like that can't be the way Hollywood
Yeah.
continues to move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't disagree with that point. I don't know if his
I
plan is the way to do it because there is a part where it's like, oh, they get paid less if they use more money type of thing. It cuts into their commissions, if we want to say. It's
mm,
it's giving sales and commissions vibe, but
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Like what I understand is that the pros of the creation of this company is like empowerment for creatives, so the artists gain more control over their work and a fair share of the profits, which is okay.
Hmm.
Diverse storytelling, I appreciate that. Like there's like you'll have more like variety and unique narratives, right? Like unique stories. Something like right now in Hollywood, I'm very sorry, movies are so freaking boring.
Hmm.
Like there's no creativity. There's just like a remake of the remake of the remake. Like honestly, I'm more
Hmm.
enjoying like British movies and TV shows than American ones, because like nothing new to the table, right? And then the what I think he also wants to achieve, and he's saying it's like to make like this shift to a new model of business model for production companies, right? I don't know if it can work because there's like financial risk, there's a lot of money, and do we all want to take the risk? And that's what was driving Baldoni too, because he puts his own company's money. That's why he was saying yes, 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 like to Lively, because if she flakes, if she disappeared, I like he had like it wasn't like a very smart business decision, I think, but I think he didn't have a lot of control because of Sony. But yeah, like the financial risk. And do you really think that the industry Hollywood will change just because Ben Affleck, he will maybe attract a small group who are like open to try it, but everybody, like I think everybody loves it their own. They want to keep control and money over
Mm.
like how things like change is
Yeah.
complicated, right?
I wonder
And
also, low key, if he's not the first to do this.
what do you mean to
There's
do
nothing
what to?
revolutionary about what he's
No,
implying.
of course it's not. But it's Ben Affleck. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. But Ben Affleck now he came out with it. Okay. I
Mm.
need to tell you something because it's so funny. Okay, right now on the Arab boomers TikTok, there's this amazing like this like trend popular recipe about flatbread. Oh my god, an amazing recipe! It's all new. You can make it like Arab, like Moroccan, like my aunties and
Never
my
been done
mom.
before.
Oh my god, flatbread! It's amazing. Rim, you need to try. Rim, you need to try this recipe. They send me the TikTok. I watch it. It's a freaking focaccia recipe. You just don't put olive
Gotcha.
oil. Focaccia takes the flatbread
Oh,
with olive oil, and you can add like
I
herbs, and you just don't put olive oil on it, and it's flatbread. And it's the same
yeah.
thing. It's nothing new, but it's like it's the voice of somebody else. Okay, my example, like I love metaphor. Like this example, it's a little bit like far-fetched, but
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
from somebody else's voice in the Arab community. It's on you. It's on you. But it's like in focaccia. It's in the, so the same. I don't think it's
Yeah,
new,
yeah.
but Ben Affleck is big, so he can make it happen. He can have more ears than, I don't know, one of our friend who decides all of a sudden to do it. No?
Yeah, I just okay, so if I follow that idea through,
Mhm.
is this
Tell me.
also that when his little production company puts out these films, documentaries, or whatever, people are more inclined to watch it because they're thinking to themselves, "Oh, this was made fairly." Almost like a fair trade sticker. So Ben Affleck is creating
Mm,
his own Ben Affleck fair trade sticker on a film. It
yeah, I
keeps
think
him
so.
relevant. It keeps his like value high because he was from Armageddon, freaking that Romeo and Juliet. What was the one there in Shakespeare in Love?
Uh,
I can't like and oh Pearl Harbor. These were mega
yeah,
huge films
yeah,
in a time
yeah.
where a lot of films weren't even breaking what is it, nine figures. So to be
Mm,
making like $300 million opening weekend type of figures,
yeah.
maybe I'm exaggerating, but I just feel like he's a
Yeah.
money man, and that's the whole point. And really, the word I want to use is opportunist. I don't know why they make me so mad, but they make me
Listen, listen. You know, a little bit from corner A, a little bit from corner B. Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both, because you know, like I don't know if they have that in Europe or the US, but here in Canada, when you go to buy wine, you have the wine, and you have some with etiquette raisin, where like it's organic or whatever, you know, like it's
fair
what
trade. It's equitable.
exactly. So
Fair.
even
It's
on food, I
fair.
don't know what I'm talking about wine, but yeah, anything.
Yeah.
It's just because that, like a friend was,
No,
we were talking about how you can make more sales when you have that kind of
how you
of
increase
speakers.
value.
Exact. So I think that's what maybe he genuinely wants to make a difference. And if Matt Damon is in it, and I have this instinct to trust Matt Damon. I don't know. I like him. I have
You
no
don't
reason.
because you're not in the crypto world, so you don't know about that
No,
controversy, but
but
you say that
I am
he
really
did a
like,
Super Bowl ad, people trusted
oh.
Matt Damon, and then it turned
Oh, you
out that it
told
was
me,
a scam and
yes.
everybody lost their
Yes.
money.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know.
ironic, and I get why, because he's
Yeah.
that, like, boy next
It's
door, smart,
likable.
intelligent something, but he's
Yes.
also,
Yes.
not a great
No, he's
person.
okay. I didn't know. Anyway. So I think the first idea was like, well, let's do something like, like fair and like what is it called again? What's the name of the company? Artist
Artist
equity. Artist
equity?
equity. Like fair, creative control. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but we need to make money. Okay. Like, and then, but our name will sell. We are behind this movie, and you will see all the marketing will follow. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Like, and it's always gray. It's never like black and white. So
Yeah. I'm a brat for saying this. There's something really cute, ironic, poetic about I always can Ben Affleck's career arc. He
okay.
came out strong. Well, actually, he didn't come out strong. He came out weak. We didn't know who he was. Him and his friend
Oh.
Matt Damon met on a film or a TV show.
Mm.
They
Yeah.
wrote Good Will Hunting in theory
Yeah.
together. They make
Yes.
that. It's a big hit. It was a cheap film that they made themselves. I think in the article he talks about we made it in rooms. So like it's cheap. It's as cheap as possible,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's all
Mm-hmm,
just
mm-hmm.
dialogues.
Yeah.
And then he does a bunch of those big films that I said, like Armageddon, blah, 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 right? And they were putting him in
Batman.
all these big but I think that comes later. It's Good Will Hunting, and then it's Armageddon, Shakespeare in Love,
Mm.
Dogma, Reindeer Games, which was
Mm.
obscure, but it was a fun action. And this was another thing, right? He goes from this like dialogue rich thing to action hero.
Yeah,
Armageddon was
he's
kind of his
yeah.
break into the action hero, and he's always been our guy, right?
Yeah.
Our guy to the rescue. Somehow Fears, Daredevil, where he meets wife Jennifer Garner, and then Jiggle. I can't remember what the heck. Anyways, the one with
Oh
Jennifer
wait,
Lopez.
Ziggly or Giggly.
Jiggly.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I've
think it was
seen
a
it.
flop.
I've seen it more than once.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did. Oh, what?
it's it's okay. It's not
Okay.
great.
I don't
It's
know the movie. Okay.
the time. It's basically him and her playing like
Mm.
hitmen who are both interested in the same person. I can't remember why, and they're
Okay.
in
Okay.
small quarters. So most of the film happens in a house, and it's like
Okay.
them interacting, and it's very clever. Her assassin, she's playing like this lesbian bi assassin, and he's
Okay.
interested in her, but not. It's super coy and like it's cute, right? So they meet on that, and then they get together, and there's that whole benefit craze, and
Yeah.
that ended in 2004. Their relationship ends in 2004, right? So everything that we said about Ben Affleck up until now has been pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it goes to crap. Utter crap. Utter sorry. Everything flop, flop, flop. Surviving Christmas, Jersey Girl,
Oh, yeah.
Hollywoodland, and then they're like resurgence, and he starts to come back up through directing. So Hollywoodland, I
Yeah.
think he directed. Gone Baby Gone, directorial debut. Now we're like, "Oh, that
Yeah.
was cool." The Town,
Yeah.
another directorial
Yeah.
debut that he's in, and it's grungy, and he's like this
Yeah.
hardcore. Like, now he's almost added credibility to some like, I'm convinced these people don't even have a natural character or personality of their own. They ingest the characters that they play. But I don't know them personally, so who can say? But and then again, Argo, he directs it, produces it, and stars in it. And then the Batman big budget
Yeah.
return, right? So like he's proven himself. So he had the big, and then it was slump with these
Yeah.
women. Part like these women ruined his life. I'm not saying that's what it was seen
Yeah.
as, but partially I wonder sometimes. There's also no irony to the fact that he was with two Jennifers back to back. Do you have a type?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There was also a rumor, and it was really funny, but I'm sure there was nothing to this, that post the divorce with Jennifer Lopez, he was apparently dating Jennifer Aniston. It's like, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. And then
Yeah.
they would show these videos where they were friendly on the red carpet.
And honestly, the only thing they have in common is the name, because
Yeah,
those three different women. My
very.
favorite is Jennifer Garner, like hands down. But again, I
She,
don't know
for
her. It's
me,
just the
still
vibe.
has complexities. Like, there's something I appreciate about the fact that she was married to the star of one show, divorced him, started dating the star of another show, broke up with him to date Ben Affleck, and then had the star of the same show who played her father
Yeah.
initiate their wedding. I'm like, you're
Aw.
messy. You are messy. I'm here for
Honestly,
it.
this I like. They need it. I'm like. There's other people than people in Hollywood, right? Like I don't know. Like
No, there are not.
no,
They
no.
are the deities.
It's not.
They are the idols.
Yeah.
We perceive them with this idea of perfectionism that has never been truth. We perceive
No.
them as wise, which is often not the case. We
We're
perceive them as
expecting something from
wealthy,
them. Yeah. Yeah.
which in many
No.
ways isn't the case. They have a lot of money, but their life is sort of bankrupt in its own ways.
Yeah.
To me, a lot of
Yeah.
this article was him low key saying, like, my life kind of sucked before, and now I'm just trying to make it better by giving back. But he's not really talking about making the world better. I think he's
No.
talking about making himself better,
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
better, feel happier.
And there's a huge part of like ego and narcissism in all that.
This one?
Like we've been around actors, right? and like at different degrees, like ego and narcissism, it's all about me. And yes, I want to make the world better, but can you talk about me? And look what I'm doing and what I'm. Yeah. Like I've not. Why is the again, why is the interview only with him? Why is not with the two other guys? Why is not about the company? Like I don't know. But again, he's a star. He's a name. So
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Anyway, I can't wait to see if he can really like change Hollywood. I think there's a lot of resistance. You can't listen. Yeah. You can't make big changes all of a sudden. As you said earlier, he's going to attract some people, to change some production company. Like they were like, okay, we can try or something like that. But I don't know, like big, like why change something that is working? That's what they're gonna tell him. Make the world better. I want you to make my money better. To your right. So I don't know. It's
I don't even think he's changing anything. Now I'm thinking of like
no,
friends
I
of
don't
mine
think
who
he
are on
is.
the phone with a distribution company that was owned by a big Hollywood couple. And I'm like, we as a mainstream don't necessarily know about, but a lot of actors have had studios and production company. When I say studios, like what's her name
Yeah,
who made Barbie? There's a lot of these actors who make their
yeah,
own films. And okay,
yeah.
really, they call them vanity studios or vanity production houses. Like, there was a time in Hollywood where everybody got one. If you were a successful actor, they were like, all right, we'll
Mm,
give you a studio, go nurture and cultivate your own storylines that you're going to star in. It was so that they could find
mm,
the things that would make them shine as actors
yeah,
in a very romanticized way. That was kind of what it is. And the studio system is still like that today. Like, he has a production company virtually, and they will
mm,
have deals with whatever major studio houses he's already had these relationships with. Like, they mention
yeah,
Air, and I'm like, oh, I had to look it up.
yeah.
What is that? Oh, it's the Michael Jordan documentary that's on Netflix. So you
Ah,
use somebody else's story
Yeah. Yeah.
to make your like to make a point. To me, it was almost like a homework assignment. So here, look, we made a documentary. Look, we could do it. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is all Ben Affleck's homework assignment. And there's something
Yeah.
he said about AI, which I thought was so weird. To me, everything he says in the article about AI is like very dad-esque in the sense of you're disconnected and not in the know. Like he's like, I thought it
Yeah.
was something to be scared of, and you could make a film with a keystroke, but then I learned that it took a lot more than a keystroke. Okay, dad. And then he
Yeah.
goes on to talk about, like, making it more, fair for actors and how they can opt out of being regenerated and all of that. I get where he's
Mm.
coming from, but a lot of that is
Yeah.
it almost sounds a little not current, not paying attention to what the current conversations are surrounding AI, and he virtually ends it
Yeah.
by saying, "You know, if my kids wanna license my voice out for some insurance commercial, what do I care? I'll be dead."
Yeah.
The Oh, sorry. I'm like, "Yo, why does he have his 15-page article? Who are you,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro?
I
Why
know.
are you relevant? Is this to literally PR your way into relevance?"
Yeah, I think that's the yeah, you just coined it. I think it's really what it is. And he's back. He wants to be back. He's a big name. He's divorced, right? Freshly divorced. That he's making something
And
good.
the greatest
Tell
love
me,
story
tell me.
ever told,
Yeah, I
Jennifer
know,
Lopez's
I know,
documentary, music video, whatever the fuck that
I
was
know.
produced by his company. Like,
Yeah.
what? Oh, but you want me to believe that you're gonna tell relevant stories? Because, like, what's your track
No, no,
record?
no. You know what? I think it's something that we need to like to keep looking at, because or to just from afar to see where it's going, because it's going to start well and then it's going to take the same direction as the others. And or we're going to uncover like, yeah, okay, it was like all like smoke
Smoke
and
and mirrors.
yeah, exactly. It's really possible, but again, big name, long story, follow-up story in a well-known magazine. It's and again, it's nothing new, right?
How long
About
does it
him or
film?
whatever.
Yeah, I bet you he'll announce something between now and maximum July.
Oh,
He will
it
announce
is.
some major
Oh,
projects
100. Oh yeah. Oh, of
or
course. 100
several.
PR. I'm telling PR.
Mm,
And then
mm.
you'll see GQ will have him again, or they'll make something about how the film was made or the project was made and
My
how
money is on
it was
it's on
all dealing.
fashion. My money is on fashion.
Ah,
It's really interesting. How do you have
really?
these 2 fashion spread photos and, like, he makes this
I
comment
know.
about, like, "Oh, it's elite and fashionable," and then the journalist goes out of his way to say, "Oh, he's being self-deprecating?" How have you decided that that's why he said that? I don't think he's being self-deprecating. Sorry,
Mm,
astrology. The
yeah.
man's sun is in Leo. You're being self, period, not self-deprecating. You're just being self. And that's
Yeah.
fine, but I'm very
Yeah.
curious to see what tone they come out with for him going for like continuing forward. What's the next arc of his great career?
Well,
Sorry, another hiccup.
I'll keep that in our like to watch, like where is it going. Good,
Mm,
good. Thank you, Nisa.
thank you.
Again, again, we're uncovering some weird stuff, some weird stuff, and I love it. So see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.